Now it's time for Perspective. My guest on the programme today says he takes part in his own photographs either as an admirer, a collaborator, a narcissist or a voyeur. His exhibition, Ladies and Gentlemen, raises many questions about gender roles, expressions of identity and the relationship between those in the photographs and the photographer themselves. The images often showing drag performers, people who are non-binary in unusual situations. And it's on display at the moment at the Irish Cultural Centre here in Paris, where Daragh Soden, an award-winning photographer, joins us now on the programme from Dublin. Thanks very much for being with us on the programme today. Take us first of all through it in your words. What did you want to show in your pictures?
Good morning, Stuart. Thanks very much for having me. So this work started almost 10 years ago when I was making pictures in queer clubs that I just happened to be in myself. I was drawn to the drag artists visually and aesthetically. As a photographer, I was drawn to them, but I was also drawn to them conceptually, the idea that they create themselves, a different version of themselves, and sometimes they perform the same identity every week, and sometimes they could create a completely new identity every week. So I began making pictures with drag artists, and although we had this common ground that we're both queer people, there was this distance between us. There was the pictures were very exotic portraits, and so I started questioning my role in the picture making process. And so instead of hiding behind the lens, I decided to play out my role in front of the camera to critique my own role in the work, and also to see the effect that it had on the work.
Yes, an interesting way of looking at it, isn't it? I mean, sometimes as we've seen in these images that we're showing, you know, you're in the pictures, sometimes you're just taking them. How did you decide with each image, if you like, which way round to do it?
So there was, as I was making this work, I made this work over a 10-year period. So there was a lot of time to stop, think and reflect about the work, and also to do research. Fairly in-depth research. So one of the initial pieces of research that I referred to was by the gender theorist Judith Butler, who talks about the typical performance of drag in that they subvert gender roles, fairly obviously, but they also confirm binary gender roles by imitating the opposite gender. And again, this is the typical performance of drag. It's not representative of all drag today. But I decided to take this on board and to both subvert the roles that I'm expected to play as a photographer, but also to confirm them. So throughout the series, I play the role of the admirer, the collaborator, as you mentioned, the narcissist, the voyeur, the anthropologist. And I also explore different power dynamics within each sitting. So ranging from the alpha male dominance in some of the pictures, right through to passive servitude. And throughout the whole work, I kind of play on different paradoxical elements as well. So in one photograph, I may be gagged, bound and naked under the heel of the queen, but I'm still in complete control of the picture. I control the lighting, I set up the picture, and I also take the picture with the shutter release, despite the fact that it's in my mouth.
So why did you want to explore so much the world of drag queens and also the world of identity so much in this exhibition?
Well, I guess it was a fairly contemporary and in some ways contested and controversial subject at the time, even throughout the 10 years, but it also has a very personal element. I guess one of the things that that I was interested in and that I was trying to unpack, and I guess that's one of the important things about this work, is that I'm really trying to address issues rather than resolve them. But one of the ideas was this idea of identity and an idea of a fixed identity. And really to highlight the idea that we perform our identities every day, and that it's really the impact that our social structures have on those identities.
I hope you don't mind me asking about, but is it something that you've struggled with yourself, your own identity?
No, absolutely not. I'm quite confident in my own identity, but it's much more an acceptance, and really it's it's an exploration of these ideas, the idea that our identities do change and that we are not defined by any particular moment in our lives. And neither should we be defined wholly by our sexuality, our gender. And really the idea was to unpick the social structures that kind of force us to perform these different roles.
And tell us about the other people who are in the pictures as well. I mean, how interesting, how difficult was it to persuade them to be part of the pictures themselves?
So throughout the work, again, it's over quite a long period of time, over 10 years. So it's typically a collaboration between between myself, the photographer, and the subject, the people in the pictures. But the level of collaboration ranges from them performing, choosing their identity and creating their identity in a visual way. These are all photographs. So this is how we're communicating, is visually. And sometimes then it goes right through to a much more conceptual, much more thought out and collaborative work, where we really both decide on the references, whether we're referencing French surrealist artists like Claude Cahun, or whether we're referencing fashion photographers like Guy Bourdin, and subverting these ideas that that have been part of their work. But really, it's the subjects have been really great throughout the work.
Yeah.
It is a genuine collaboration in every work.
Just time to ask you really quickly.
The other thing is that
we're running out of time,
yes.
but I just wanted to ask you as well, but more generally about your work as well, because you kind of burst, didn't you, under the scene in 2016 by winning the British Journal of Photography Undergraduate Single Image Award. I mean, has it surprised you how much your work's been appreciated and how it's been taken up?
It has, to a degree, yes. It's been a real honour, to be honest, and my work has begun right through from the image that you described just now, the young Dubliners picture, and it seems like it's very different, but it's really a continuous development of my work that is documentary photography and really focusing on real issues that affect me personally, but have a universal element as well.
Well, great to see your pictures. Great to hear your outlook as well. Thanks very much for being with us on the programme. Daragh Soden joining us there, award-winning photographer, and his work is, as I said, on display at the moment at the Irish Cultural Centre. I think it's going to be there almost up until Christmas. So if you are in Paris over the next few weeks, you have your chance to see it at the Irish Cultural Centre.